시저직.
Time out.
시작해볼까?
Ma. Hi, welcome. My name is Angelina.
My name is Audrey.
And you're watching an episode of
Kpop Cancelled.
So today we are going to do an episode about K-pop what ifs. Within the K-pop sphere, there are so many what ifs.
I'm so not ready.
So many idols who are almost part of one group, who may have been rudely kicked out of another group, who maybe if they had stuck it out a little bit longer, might have been part of the biggest groups ever. So we're gonna be discussing all of that today. It's a little bit sad. It's a little bit disheartening to talk about this subject, just
It's
because
bittersweet. I think
it's very bittersweet because in some instances the idols have moved on to other things, and in other instances might have fallen into some I don't know,
something
scratch
else.
That. I really wanted to do a type of like the one that got away, but K-pop edition. There's no hair on my face.
I don't see it. Oh, there's one string here. Well, on that side. Yeah. There you go.
Goddamn House Labs foundation. It's too dewy. Cut to the intro. So, I have like a couple of Reddit posts to read. Not too many. And we're not going to just sit here and read today. But I did see a documentary the other day. I talked to you about it. It's titled I Trained with BTS. 2 dots. What's the 2 dots again? Fuck.
Colon.
Yeah. I was gonna be like, you're a 17 stan, goddamn.
No, it's semicolon.
It's not a semicolon, but it's just the colon. Okay. Being on the brink of fame and then losing it all. I was like, oh, that's deep. Like, yeah. Oh, and especially BTS, literally the biggest boy group in the world. Mm-hmm. Do you think BTS rivals the likes of the Backstreet Boys or NSYNC?
Oh, yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
I wonder, like, statistically, if, like, sales-wise and everything. Because, obviously, they're from completely different generations. Like,
yeah,
I wonder...
you need to stop at one point the sales from BTS to, like, compare it to Backstreet Boys. But Backstreet Boys came back together for a world tour, and BTS is kind of in the same generation for that comeback.
That's so tricky though, right? Because, you know, you'd have to compare the peak of each fame. Mm-hmm. And then what's the word called when you, let's say if something cost $50 20 years ago, inflation, you'd have to count for inflation. Inflation for both the monetary gains that each group did and just other types of inflation that I can't even conceptualize right now. Mm-hmm. But I really wonder, like, if they rival the Backstreet Boys and everything.
I think they do.
Because we have Blackpink, who are now the biggest selling girl. They had the biggest selling tour, right? So they definitely... But that's the thing. Do they actually rival the Spice Girls or Destiny's Child if we consider inflation and everything? Because 20 years ago, it's incomparable. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because even like music video views, if you compare like 21's music video views, they're very low. A lot of music videos back then, the views were very low. Nobody was really streaming. We didn't have the streaming culture or anything. Mm-hmm. And you also have to understand there's so many more people who like K-pop now. So, of course, music videos that have like 100 million views in 24 hours, like it's like, sure, it's not like super mind-blowing anymore. So we'd have to consider that. But I'm curious, let me know in the comments, what do you think about that? Do you think these groups actually can rival each other from 20 years ago?
I think so.
I'm curious. Because obviously, just tickets price. Did we talk about this before? I'm getting like a
ticket price. Yeah, but we mostly complain about it.
Ticket prices.
Yeah.
Because like if I went to see a Destiny's Child concert, I'm sure I wouldn't spend $1,000 to go and see them.
Yeah, but that $1,000 wouldn't be the same as $1,000 from today.
That's true. So that's the inflation.
Yeah. Because back then, $1,000 was really expensive.
Yeah.
And now $1,000.
Well, it's
still expensive, but like the minimum wage salary it's easier to have $1,000 in your bank account than back then.
However, there's a lot of people who also just think that the ticket prices shouldn't be $1,000 point blank. Mm-hmm. Like it's still absolutely ridiculous. So let's say a ticket price was $50 back then. $1,000. I don't think that counts as, I don't think it's an accurate, anyways, way off topic. This guy essentially was a trainee with BTS, and basically he said there was like 20 trainees, and they were all, you know, they went to school in the morning, and then in the evening they would go and practice. And he was basically saying Hybe now owns their whole entire building. Back then they only had 2 floors of another building. They're renting 2 floors, and they never really went to the building itself. They had a separate practice room, I guess, somewhere else. And he said whenever he got called to the main building, it was always to get scolded or something, and, you know, always made him nervous. So one day he gets called to the building, and he gets told that he's cut from the group. And then obviously BTS goes on to become a group and goes on to be the biggest boy group ever. Mm-hmm. So essentially he says that, of course, he envies the members now, but not necessarily for their money or their fame, but because they got to stick together as friends. And, you know, obviously as they became more famous, he lost
touch with
he lost touch. They're not in touch anymore. Mm-hmm. And he kind of envies that. So it makes me curious because I obviously would be very fucking jealous about the money and the fame. You know, I'm not, I wouldn't think I'm like mentally healthy enough to be like, no, I miss the friendship and kinship. I think
fuck
like,
friendship.
Yeah, fuck friendship. I want to not stress about money. That's all I care about. But, you know, kudos to him if he's at that level. You know, good. I appreciate that in people. I can admire that in people. I just can't relate. How would you feel? Would you miss the friendship, or would you feel bitter like these people got famous and suddenly forgot about me? I'm not. Oh my god. I can just picture Army getting mad. Like, no, yeah. They're humble and they're busy. I get it. Life happens. But you can also be bitter that, you know, you lose touch with a friend. It happens, but you can still be mad at it. How would you feel?
I think it would be mostly because of the friendship, not the fame. Yeah, because like if I was cut because of the company, because I may lack skills or stuff, like it's life. I don't fit what they're searching for. But like now, if you're cut from a company, well, Big Hit wasn't that big. So like you're cut from Big Hit and it means nothing to the other companies. But like if, for example, you're cut from YG and then you go to the audition to SM and they see that you were a YG trainee, they might pick you up because they know you already have a baggage the experience with you.
Yeah. But I guess if you just picture the fact that, like, this is your dream and you trained every single day and you're quite young, too. I mean, you're not, like, fully have your brain developed. You're not, like, 25. You're not even graduated high school yet. And this is your dream and you want the fame and you want to be a singer.
But, yeah, we'd be devastated, but not against it.
Not against the members. But if you consider... Exactly. He's a Big Hit trainee. And I don't mean this in any way, but, you know, obviously you didn't make it into YG. You didn't make it into SM. Big Hit was not a big company. I feel like, you know, it's a small company. You made it to a small company and got cut even at that. So I guess it's like your last option, right? Mm-hmm. So after all that, you get cut and then you see these people become so big and you obviously lose friendship with them. I can picture really hurting. And he does, you know, go on to explain that, you know, his life after that happened, it just kind of had like a snowball effect. Like his mom had like collapsed or something and he was like skipping school and was depressed and everything. Like, I think it's super understandable.
Yeah.
Because life is life is made up of being in the right place at the right time a lot of the time, being lucky, having this luck on your side. Mm-hmm. So I can imagine it's hard.
It's the feeling that it's being forgotten by your friends, that you thought they were your friends, but they kind of forget you.
Yeah.
Because they're too busy. And like, I mean, if you think about high school, you don't remember everybody from high school.
Yeah.
You forget them. So it's kind of the same for them because they were 20. So like you remember them, but they might not remember you because you were 20 trainees.
Yeah. And if you consider the fact that a lot of people tend to a lot of people will say like every single member in the group love each other and they're super close. But then sometimes you see it is more of like a business relationship at times. And I think I remember it was like a G Idol interview, and Miyeon was like, I'm actually close with Minnie or something, or these two actually got closer during filming. And it just the wording of it all made me think about it, like, oh, were they not super close before, or is it just, you know, the translation of it all? You know, you tend to wonder, is it mostly like a business transaction at that point? And then over time you tend to become more friendly. Of course, on camera they all seem like they love each other and they're super friendly. But that's another thing to consider as well. Like, were you super close friends to begin with, or was it more casual? I don't know. It's interesting to think about. But that's the like mini documentary that I saw. And then there's obviously a lot of idols who were supposed to be part of other groups and didn't end up. Can you think of any right now?
Somi was supposed to be from Itzy, and is it Miyeon from J-Idol was supposed to be in Blackpink?
Yeah, Miyeon was supposed to be in Blackpink or Pink Punk. I'm not sure at what point it changed.
Oh my god, I'm gonna sneeze.
Apachoo!
There's Kim Samuel was supposed to be in 17.
Oh. Hyunsung from Beast was supposed to be in Big Bang. He was a trainee with them.
Okay.
Yeah. Hyuna was actually in the Wonder Girls.
There's someone who was supposed to be in Red Velvet. Red Velvet?
Oh, maybe.
Or someone from Red Velvet was supposed to be in
FX?
Or
what?
Girls' Generation?
Maybe. I know there's a lot of like someone from NCT was actually supposed to be in EXO. Was it Johnny?
Yeah, Johnny was supposed to be in EXO.
EXO? So we have instances like that where they were supposed to be in another group, or instances where they were in another group and then they left. So Hyuna had medical issues, I believe, and then she left. Her parents wanted her to leave the Wonder Girls. And then we have instances where the members were just straight up kicked out of the group. So we have Garam from Le Sserafim. We have Soojin from G Idol.
We have
Wonho from Monsta X. And yeah. So let's just read this first thing on Reddit. I kind of feel sorry for Miyeon. It's quite short. So Miyeon from J-Idol was supposed to debut with Blackpink, but she left in early 2015 because YG didn't give her a debut, or by some rumors because she was caught dating with one problematic dude. Rumor, we don't know about that, if it's true or not. If she just waited one more year, she could have debuted in the most successful girl group in the world and get all that international fame, become a luxury brand ambassador, earn tons of money, and so on. I feel like this is an unpopular opinion because I've read a lot of comments like, things turned out even greater for her because she is now pursuing her passion for music with Idol instead of modeling with BP. Oh, and Idol have more songs and musical creativity than Blackpink, and that's why they're better. I don't know, is she really that passionate in music? I feel like she deep inside regrets her decision. Interesting. Tell me how you feel.
If Miyeon stayed, if she wasn't kicked out, I don't think Jisoo would have debuted.
Or Miyeon might not have even debuted. She could have stayed the whole time. And
yeah, maybe she would be in Baby Monster and then she would be too old, so she will never debut. But
too old.
Well,
I know she is. I'm pretty sure she's the oldest member in G Idol.
You think? I don't know.
I think she is.
Maybe, but I was listening to their. It's not the It's Life, the Killing Voice, and I was listening because I've never really paid attention or never realized it. Maybe because Jisoo had her solo and now it's like more.
You have a better profile of her voice now.
More. And I was like, damn, Miyeon sounds kind of the same.
Yeah.
It's the same type of voice.
Her position would have been so redundant, I think.
It wouldn't. YG wouldn't allow to have two similar voice like that in the same group.
That I'm not too sure about, because in 21 we had 3 main vocalists, literally 3 main vocalists plus Dara.
Yeah, but they don't sound the same.
I mean, Minzy and CL, you could say they have a similar vocal tone. I'm not sure. I don't know about that very much, but you have Bohm, who has a very unique voice, and I feel like CL and Minzy have a similar
Because like
tone.
Lisa and Jenny, when they rap, they
It's the
kind
same.
of have the same tone.
Lisa, Jenny, and CL, and G Dragon,
It's
YG
the same
rappers basically
training.
sound
Yeah,
the same.
it's
Yeah.
the same training. But vocally, Soyeon and Jisoo, Miyeon and Jisoo sounds legit the same. So I don't think YG would allowed it.
I don't know. I just because he's done it in the past with 21 and even Blackpink with two similar rappers.
Yeah.
So I don't think that would be the reason that she wouldn't have debuted with them. But who knows? There was the rumor that she was dating someone. I don't know that that's true. They're saying she left before she could have even debuted. I can imagine like waiting around for so long. You get tired and then you're like, I'm going to go somewhere else where I feel like maybe I'll have a better chance, or who knows?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of stories of idols who are like,
It was too long.
I was just waiting around. What are they going to do with me? They don't have any plans for me. I have a sneaking suspicion that's what happened with Somi.
I think so.
Maybe?
I think because she was trained for like what, 13 years, 10 years there.
I have no idea.
She was trained for a long time.
It just feels like, after a while you get a little sick and tired of waiting.
Yeah, she was a bit like Ji Hyo.
Jihyo?
Yeah.
Training for a long time?
Yeah, she was kind of starting to be the Jihyo or the Bangchan of JYP. The trainee that is known by everyone because it's been such a long time that they're there.
Yeah.
So
Well, wasn't Lily? I think I remember like pre-debut Lily when she was like a wee little child.
Yeah, little child.
Singing on a competition show maybe?
Mhm.
I'm not too sure.
During Stray Kids variety show.
I have no idea, but I remember like there's like a distant memory that I remember. I think I remember hearing Lily singing in a competition show years ago.
Yeah.
And
Oh, wasn't it like for not The Voice, but something like that?
I don't remember, but anyways, I mean, she was supposed to debut with Itzy as well. I remember there was like pre-debut photos that were released after Itzy debuted. Either she left or I don't know, but Yuna ended up being like the 5th member.
Yeah, there was a lot of shuffling between the members to form Itzy.
But it's interesting to think about because now I think Somi probably has an amazing life. I think, she's killing it. A lot of people are really upset that she's not having comebacks.
Me!
But I mean,
I'm so
damn.
upset.
It's the YG formula.
I
she releases
I hate it.
something every couple of years. She does brand deals. She's set. She's set for life. She's fine.
Yeah, but I hate it. I hate it.
Fair.
I'm so
We
mad
just
at
want more.
YG.
She has good music aside from Dum Dum. Amazing
Dum is
discography.
good.
I hate Dum Dum, but amazing discography.
I love all the songs she did.
I feel like her songs are just so easy to sing to. Just tell me what you waiting for. We were watching EXO Kitty on Netflix.
The best soundtrack.
The soundtrack is just like a bunch of K-pop. There was 2 17 songs, 2 Somi songs, 1 Blackpink song, a BTS song.
The second song you hear, it's Hot by 17.
With a ninja for like hot. Hot. I think it feels so hot. And there was a hot guy on the screen, of course. They take the K-pop songs very literal.
Yeah. I love it. It's such trash TV. I love it. Watch it.
Watch it. I'm curious to finish it though.
Yeah, we need to.
But Somi in Itzy. So if Somi had debuted as a soloist under JYP, this is another thing that we can read. It's quite short. So why is this unpopular? Most discussions are about how she would have debuted in a group instead, because a lot of people claim she lacks what it takes to be a great soloist. JYP could have taken advantage of the popularity she gained after appearing on 16 and winning first place on Produce 101, and given her the opportunity to debut as a solo artist at least 1 or 2 years after IOI's disbandment. I do agree that this would be a very odd move coming from JYP, considering they don't really debut idols as soloists unless they have been in groups before. Correct me if I'm wrong. However, such move could have garnered more attention towards her. I also feel like she matches the JYP vibe so much more, and she could have done a better job into pushing her brand further. They also excel at promoting their current artists, in my opinion. The Black label isn't letting us see her full potential. Although her B-sides are quite good in my opinion, her title tracks and music videos could be better. They just lack a little impact and memorability. She has a very unique sweet voice, but her title tracks sound a little bit monotone. I'm not sure how to explain it. She also barely has any comebacks promos, and this has made casual listeners lose interest in her. I am aware she probably chose the Black label for her own reasons, creative freedom, etc., which I respect. None of us truly know what their contracts are like after all. This is a mere hypothetical. So Somi sounding monotone, is that not just her voice? Like I just mentioned, her songs are easy to sing along to.
No, I think it's a YG style. Because when she was in JYP, it wasn't the same sound she was doing.
Well, I don't know what sound she had, and she
was more high pitched, nasally.
She did an interview. I think it wasn't Knowing Bros. It was the one with the white background with those two guys that everyone thinks are problematic. Weekly Idol, and she specifically said that the JYP style of vocals are so different from YG.
Yeah,
and I think she even gave examples.
Yeah.
So JYP. I'm trying to think of it. Wait, Somi on Weekly Idol. So she's saying that the first line of her song, "Hey boy, how you doing?" So now she's gonna show us what JYP, if she was under JYP and she released that song, what it would sound like.
Hey boy, how you doing?
So it has a lot more air to it. And then for YG,
Hey boy, how you doing?
so there's more vibes to YG.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting.
I wonder if she debuted her solo right after IOI, if she would be cursed too, or if she'd be like, because Chang'e was the most successful of all the post groups.
But now she's cursed.
She's cursed.
She left her company after not having really released a lot of things in a while.
So I think maybe it's the theory that it was already said, but maybe Somi was cursed, not debuting and stuff. And now she beat the curse.
I really can't picture her as a JYP soloist to
Me
begin
neither.
with.
But they don't really have one.
Yeah, but even when she debuted as a soloist under the Black label, a lot of people were saying she would have worked so much better in a group. She worked so much better in a group.
Yeah.
And I would have loved to see her in a group, but I do like her music under the Black label. But we still have that issue that she's not really releasing anything.
She's not.
Which is an issue for fans, just not for her. Again, she's living her best life, brand ambassador for fucking Louis Vuitton, whatever. It's just when K-pop fans are like, these idols are mistreated, and I'm like, do you know how much these brand deals fucking pay them?
I think she freaking paid them the house they're living in.
Through brand deals, she probably doesn't even have to release another song in her entire life.
Yeah.
And she'll be set. Like...
Yeah. But it's
these
sad.
brand deals.
I want her to make music.
There's these people on TikTok, these social media managers, or I don't know, they work for specific companies and they negotiate brand deals for influencers. And they post TikToks and they're like, I just negotiated a brand deal with an influencer for like $50,000 or whatever, for more than I ever make in a year for a 30-second integration, you know?
30 seconds.
Yeah, and they're just like baffled because like they're not making that much money, but they like facilitate these integrations for them. And I'm just like, that's so sad. Like, it's like, good for you, but like, fuck, that's a lot of money for what it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I don't think Somi would have fit in Twice, but it's easy to say now.
Yeah.
Had she debuted in Twice, nobody would have been the wiser. And if
she would have fit the...
Had she debuted in Twice, everyone would be like, yeah, obviously she fits Twice.
Yeah.
But because she didn't debut in Twice, everyone's like, no, obviously she wouldn't have fit.
Yeah.
But we can say that now.
Yeah.
But
for Itzy too.
I think she would have fit Itzy.
She would, but not the Itzy from today.
No, I think, even in retrospect, I think she would have fit the teen crush vibe of Itzy, because even her solo work, Birthday, felt very teen crush.
Yeah.
So I think she would have fit in there.
Yeah. But yeah, I like her in the group though.
Yeah.
There was IOI and there was one that was created, Unnies. She was in Unnies.
Yeah.
She was so cute.
Was
she was
Minzy in that?
Yeah.
Minzy, yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
she was back for the second Unnies. She did the two Unnies group.
Okay.
I think so.
I only saw like a couple clips of that. There was the one clip where she picked the Twice outfit, like a Twice inspired outfit, and
Oh.
people were like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
Because it was like a sporty outfit.
Mhm.
That's all I remember
Mhm.
from it. But yeah,
I just remember when like they were trying to learn the choreography and it
Mhm.
was such an easy choreo for her.
oh,
And she picked it up like that and all the Unnies were like,
oh my god!
"How? Can you teach me?" It was so cute.
So now we have Soojin from G Idol.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine? Well, of course, you stan Monsta X and you lived through Wonho getting kicked out of the group. But Soojin, that surprised the shit out of me.
Why?
Because how do you do that? How do you have an established group? I think it's because there have been so many scandals in K-pop in the past. Horrible scandals, and they just didn't even kick out the members before.
But it's the same for Wonho. They were such an established group.
Yeah.
And Wonho left.
That's literally the same thing to me. I don't
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Like, is it from Victon or Onus? Onus?
One us?
Onus?
Mm-hmm.
There is Ravn, who's left.
What did he do again? Was he the one who faked medical records so he didn't have to go to the army?
No, that's Ravi from
Ravi
Vix.
Vix. Okay, similar name.
Yeah.
What, okay, so he was the one who dated a stalker.
I don't remember.
Oh, I don't remember.
I really don't remember, but he was like kind of the producer of Onus, so it did a big.
Erase Me is a bop though.
Oh my God.
Sounds amazing. I don't know if he got kicked out after or before that, but
Before, he's not in Erase Me.
still sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know what he did, but
Yeah.
let's Google it really quickly.
I don't
What's his
remember.
name?
Ravn. Yep.
Won us.
It's like Rave N.
Oh, cheating and gaslighting accusations.
So
he
it's
pulled a
like
Lucas.
Lucas.
Literally.
I'm mad. Lucas is not. He's been kicked out.
Oh yeah, Lucas got kicked out too. That was okay.
I'm
we'll get
so
to
sad.
Lucas, but
Okay.
Ravn officially withdraws from One Us after cheating and gaslighting accusations. So it came from his ex-girlfriend, and he had a whole. There's not really any details, but I think I remember. No, I don't remember anything. Anyways, so he pulled a Lucas.
Yeah, that was Zico too.
Zico? I don't remember about Zico, but for Lucas, it was so weird to me that SM's like, okay, so guys,
They were testing the water and stuff, and then no,
we're kicking him out of NCT and Wavy.
we don't talk about the Super M.
Parenthesis, let's not talk about Super M just yet. But please, even though he did these horrible things and we're kicking him out of these two groups that he was part of,
He will be a solo
please anticipate his solo stuff.
artist. Yeah.
So what he did, was it bad or not? Because if you're kicking him out of two groups and then giving him solo stuff, like what kind of message does that send? Was it bad or was it not bad?
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me.
I
It
hate
seems
because they didn't talk about Super M, and then Kai had to be enlisted. So I feel like they tried to put the attention of the public not on Lucas anymore, but more on Kai.
maybe because it was a little bit out of the blue, right?
Yeah, and
because
Kai
they were supposed to have a
cried
Super
about it.
M comeback.
Yeah, it was announced at the end of the year show that it was announced that Super M will have a comeback. And now it's not even in the radar. So like, what the fuck, SM? What are you doing?
Makes absolutely no freaking sense.
I hate it. I hate companies.
I hate companies. I mean, yeah.
So yeah, Soyeon, we didn't not Soyeon.
Soojin.
We didn't talk about her.
So Soojin gets kicked out of the group, and I mean, obviously, all the international stands are sat there like,
She did nothing wrong.
she,
They were trying to defend her.
yeah, everyone's going to defend everything, and I think it's so tricky because I'll look into something, and it seems to me that the person is at least guilty to an extent. They did something, whether that is morally wrong or not. I'm not going to comment on that because I think everybody's flawed. We're all fucked up. whatever,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I think you can make mistakes and learn from mistakes and become a better person. I don't think you're the same person you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I don't think that. I think you can change. So if she did do those things, I think she could have changed. That's all I'm saying. Whether she's guilty or not, I know fans are going to say she's not. Even for Garam from Le Sserafim, they're like, no, she's actually not guilty. Like, yes, there's documents proving that she did this, but then there's also documents proving that she didn't do it. But there's documents that prove, like, you know, but she did it for good reason. Like, she threw a brick at someone for good reason. Like, I hear all these things. So nobody quote me on that. These are just all things that I've heard. And I remember like following the situation. I just don't remember much of it. And even if I did, I'm hearing so many different things from fans who say, no, she's not guilty. Or yes, there's documents that prove she's guilty, but she did it for good reason. And it's just, you don't know what to believe at the end of it. And I think that's what people want. Yeah. But anyways, I think, you know, I forget where I was going with this.
Were you going back to Soojin
No, I don't know.
or Garam? Honestly, I think that it might be less hard for Garam to be kicked out of Le Sserafim than for Soojin for being kicked out of G-Idol. Because Soojin was, like you said, they were an established group. She was like, what, 4 or 5 years with G-Idol?
At least a couple, yeah.
She was having comebacks. She was living with them. She was like, it was a real family. Versus Garam, she trained with them, but she had 2 weeks with Le Sserafim, and that's it. So like, yes, it's hard because you tasted your debut, but you didn't live your idol life.
Yeah. It's just sad that companies would do that.
Yeah.
And it's obviously the difference between what international fans want and what the Korean public think. Because obviously international fans, they would defend both of them to the death. They want them to be back in the group.
Yeah.
Whereas Korean fans probably think a lot different. That's probably why they got kicked out in the first place.
Well, if you have like Chen who have a child and then want to kick him in from EXO.
Like, there's definitely cultural differences that contribute to this.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of international fans could look past drug use.
Yeah.
For Wonho, they'd be like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
But it's totally different. And like, I get it. I get that it's different. I think if K-pop stans boycotted more, if they actually put their money where their mouth is, companies would yield to their demands more. Like, if everybody boycotted G-Idol and said like, bring Soojin back, like, but actually went through with it, like actually boycotted the company like Luna stans did, maybe she could have been brought back. Maybe they're not trying hard enough.
I don't know, because like Cube and Blockberry, it's not the same level for a company.
Cube has more to lose. They're a bigger company. They have more to lose. If G-Idol stands like, okay, I'm not putting the blame on G-Idol stands. It's just a hypothetical. This is all about what ifs. What if Netherlands actually boycotted, actually did, that's the tricky thing. If you don't support the comeback, then you're effectively not supporting the rest of the members.
No, I think.
But if you get what you want at the end of it, is it worth it at that point?
I think you wouldn't care, because like Carrots tried to boycott the new light stick,
but
it didn't work.
Don't say they tried, because they didn't. You bought the fucking light
I
stick.
bought it because I wanted.
Luna
but like,
stans were dedicated.
Yeah, but
like there was one. I think there was like one person who bought the album or something. I don't know that as a fact, but I remember seeing a meme going around like, "Who's the one person who bought the album? We're in a boycott, damn it!"
I think it's because there was more like conversation about that. Because like, yeah, they tried to boycott it, but I think it was like international fans was trying to boycott the light stick, not the South Korean fans.
Yeah, but if you compare like the international buying power compared to the buying power of South Korea, logically, I don't know. I feel like the population of South Korea is a lot smaller than the rest of the world.
Yeah, I don't know. But if like a group wasn't known in South Korea, but it was like the international group, would you consider it as K-pop?
Well, I don't think you can only be known. Like, I don't think there's like a border that says like you can't be known everywhere. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Like, what's your example of someone like
I don't have it because it doesn't exist.
Yeah, so I don't know. If 17 Sounds actually boycotted the light stick, which you can't say they did because you literally bought the light stick.
Yeah, because there was no discussion around it. There was no real boycott. Like, people on Instagram, when someone did an unboxing, mostly it's the Korean fans who received their unboxing, or the people, their light stick, or the people who did the pre-order that was from Weavers that I missed, and I was so pissed. But in the comments they were saying, no, we're boycotting, it's so ugly.
Yeah, but
and
nobody
blah, blah,
was
blah.
united against
Yeah, there
it.
was no unition, there was no real discussion, there was no like thread to like, okay, we don't buy it because we don't want it. But the Luna stands, they did that. But I feel
Yeah.
like it's because it was like against
Mistreatment?
the company and mistreatment, and they need to have the girls removed from there.
And I think that's
Place.
what Luna stands are known for. Like, Orbits are known
They're
for their intensity.
From the beginning.
From the
they
beginning,
were
they're known for their
intense.
intensity.
Yeah.
But it makes me really curious as to like what other changes K-pop stands could make from other fandoms if they tried. But they wouldn't. They wouldn't because, okay, for Luna, like they had nothing to lose because their members are literally being mistreated.
Yeah. But for
All of them are being mistreated. You know, if one member was kicked out of the group and then they decided, okay, let's not support anything,
it would be punishing the other members.
punishing the other members, which I think they acknowledged. Like, yes, we understand that we're not supporting this comeback, but the members being free is way more important than that.
Yeah.
So, but like K-pop fans, they want to put money into these groups. They want to support these groups. So I don't see it working for it. Let's say a member gets kicked out and you want them back. You don't think it's fair that they got kicked out. You think it's horrendous that they got kicked out. I don't see it super working like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it could in theory. You don't support the one comeback. However, maybe you ruined the group. I don't know, but
Maybe Mitzi could have done that for sneakers.
for sneakers. Well, no, then they'd have to admit that it was a bad song. And
Yeah.
K-pop fans who love their groups can't do that. They
can't.
don't want
No,
to.
No,
What's something you would have boycotted?
nothing.
Nothing? You're not passionate about anything?
No,
I can't think of anything.
I'm not
right
a
now.
boycotter.
No?
I legit bought the freaking light stick.
Yeah. Fucking sheep. I'm kidding. I love a good boycott.
Like
I
what?
don't buy things though, so I don't know what I would boycott.
I'm not capable of being against not the law, but like
The crowd?
a superior figure.
You're not good at being against authority figures?
Exactly.
Okay.
So I wouldn't boycott.
You don't even know them.
I don't care. I would feel so bad.
Oh my god.
Like when we went on strike. I was feeling so bad. Like, because it's like your employer against your syndicat. But like they are two oh mon dieu, je sais pas comment dire. Sont deux autorités qui sont vraiment genre au-dessus de toi, tu sais. Mais là, ces deux autorités-là se butt head.
Okay.
Puis là, toi, t'es dans le milieu, puis t'es comme, par où est-ce que je m'en vais? C'est qui que j'écoute? Quand que lui, c'est mon employeur, puis il me dit de faire quelque chose, mais là, c'est la personne qui me représente qui me dit de faire quelque chose.
So you have your employer on one hand and your union on the other hand, and you want to please them both, but ultimately they're fighting, and you have to choose a side.
Mm-hmm.
But you always choose the union.
Yeah,
you
because
always choose the
that's
union.
what I did, but
Yeah.
I was feeling so bad for that.
It's like the writers, Hollywood screenwriters are on not screenwriters, writers are on strike right now, and it's causing a lot of issues.
They are.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah, writers are on strike, and a lot of shows are being put on hold, and there's just not fair treatment. People want more money. They want fairer treatments, and I think they should get it. Let's
Fun
unionize K-pop. Let's go.
Oh my god, it would be such a mess.
It'd be a whole fucking mess. It would not.
It would be, okay, if we unionize K-pop, it would be majority for BTS.
What do you
There's too much army on this planet. We would never have fair treatment for all K-pop groups. It would only be for BTS and Blackpink.
You know, I don't know how unions work, but I believe you.
Thankfully, we have multi-stands who will help us.
Well, yeah.
but- I don't know. Let's not unite K-pop.
I just think we should be able to go on strike, you know?
You think? I would never survive. Can you imagine?
There's some...
Like I'm in with like what 5-6 fandom, so each month it would be a different strike.
I just think we should have the option. I just want to be able to strike things I don't think are right.
No.
Imagine, because like a lot of people are like, minors shouldn't debut. Imagine everyone going on strike for Baby Monster.
Just for Baby Monster? It's not just for Baby Monster.
Well, everyone else has debuted already. They haven't yet, so we have the chance to change the.
Who's the youngest?
I think she's like 14 or 15 by now.
Okay, so she was like Yuna.
Anyways, we won't get into that issue right now.
Yeah.
Hyunjin from Stray Kids.
What if he was
kicked out?
Yeah.
Because it was the exact same time as Soojin.
Yeah.
And it was an example of two members, one getting kicked out, one not getting kicked out for similar things, right? Mm-hmm. I know Hyunjin's fans are going to say he wasn't guilty. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. I don't have the info right off the top of my head.
Well, he's technically non-guilty if he stays there.
I'm pretty sure they like went and apologized. So what if he had been kicked out? Maybe then they would have went on strike. Boy group stands are another breed.
If he was kicked out, I think that because when a member is kicked out, there's always a member from the group who's like having the glow up.
Oh, okay.
So if Hyunjin was kicked out, I think it would be Lino or Felix who will have the glow up.
Oh. Who had the glow up in Monsta X?
I am.
Who had the glow up in G-Idol? Shuhwa?
Shuha.
Shuhwa?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think I am was the glow up.
But I'm curious. I want to know in the comments, like, how do you think K-pop audiences would have reacted if Hyunjin would have been kicked out? Because I think Stray Kids, to an extent, I don't mean this in any way, is bigger than G-Idol, from a bigger company than G-Idol, and boy group stands are something.
I'm not sure about that anymore.
They're just a little intense, I would say.
I don't know. Girl group stands are something too.
Oh, I mean, K-pop stands or something.
Yeah.
But I just feel like when I talk about boy groups, I get shit on for a lot less than when I talk about girl groups.
Okay.
But who knows? Actually, maybe they're all terrible.
They are.
Yeah. And I just want to bring this up because the whole short that I posted about Ningning on the floor during her high note, nobody ever wants to just have a conversation. Like, nobody can ever just clarify something without being like, you have one brain cell and you're wrong. And, you know, you can never just clarify and have a conversation with people. Mm-hmm. And I hate that. Because, like, yes, okay, I said sometimes she's on the floor. Forgive me. One time she was on the floor during her fucking high note. Mm-hmm. And it just makes me mad because I see like other creators outside of the K-pop sphere, they're literally getting canceled for doing problematic things. And yet their comments remain like, I love you, but this was, you know, not it. Or, you know, I really like your content, but you could have done that a little bit better. And I'm like, what about me? What about me? Why can't people talk to me like that?
Yeah.
Like, I recalled an instance where Ningning was on the floor during her high note. And I literally presented the performance with the audio so people could see what I was talking about. And people are like, she's never on the floor for her high note.
She doesn't even spin her head.
I'm like, I literally gave you the example. And they still want to fight with me about that, about the wording that I used. Okay, I'm sorry. For this specific stage, she's on the floor for her high note.
Yeah.
Anyways, I just wanted to express that. We should be able to have more conversations in K-pop without immediately resulting to saying this is misinformation. K-pop fans are obsessed with accusing people of spreading misinformation, and that person could have just expressed their opinion and they're like, actually, you're wrong and you're misleading your entire audience and spreading misinformation. Like, are you guys not the queens of spreading misinformation, first of all?
And now I'm just thinking about what I said for Stray Kids, that it will be Lino and Felix, and I think Stace will come at me saying, actually, they were already popular, blah, 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 blah.
Absolutely. It's inevitable. It's like you can't say anything. You can't say anything without clarifying absolutely every single thing that you meant. And you don't talk like that naturally. You don't have conversations like that naturally. Like, oh, I said this. Well, actually, let me just clarify every single like argument that you could say against what I'm saying before you make that argument. Yeah. I don't know. It's just not fun sometimes. I feel so defeated sometimes. So, yeah, my bad. There was this one instance where she did the high note on the ground. But if you want other examples, in Twice's I Can't Stop Me, they literally don't do the high note at all. They just continue on with the choreography. In the spicy choreography, they literally have Winter dancing during her high note multiple times. And I mean that.
Because you watched every stages of Spicy.
When she does her high note live, she doesn't do the choreography. But otherwise, she's literally dancing while doing the high note. These choreographies are not made to be sang live.
Yeah.
And someone's going to correct my fucking present past tense of sang. I don't know. Is it sang? Is it sung?
Don't ask me.
Who knows? But anyways. So Monsta X, Wonho obviously got kicked out due to drug allegations, right?
And not stealing, but not reimbursing stuff.
So, okay, maybe this is controversial. I feel like this example is a little bit less heartbreaking because, hear me out.
How dare you?
No, it's because he got to continue on a solo career.
Yeah.
He got to continue doing solo stuff. Like, I feel like he was thriving. I feel like I saw him everywhere. I saw him like reading thirsty tweets. Like, you know, his promotions were still good and ultimately from an outsider perspective unaffected. Yeah. Like I didn't follow Monsta X, but after he left, like I knew Wonho as this solo artist and like I saw him pop up on Instagram all the time, like this huge muscle guy. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So I feel like it's horribly sad. It's a terrible thing to happen, but I think he overcame it amazingly.
I'd say that when he left, I think it was his choice to leave. Maybe not, but like they portrayed it as it was his choice. They all say
it's their choice. When Seungri left Big Bang, he said it was his own choice. Yeah. When these idols leave their groups, they're always going to say, I want to leave the group to prevent them from looking bad. And I think it's a PR move. You know, maybe they genuinely do, but I think like ultimately it's like the company's decision.
Yeah, but like with Wonho, with what he was portraying on variety shows or anything, he was Shonu is the leader, but Wonho was like the caregiver. He was like really motherly with everyone and like protective and stuff. So when they said that it was his choice, people bought it. Like it makes sense that it's his choice to leave. Yeah. And he signed with a sub company of Starship. They are in the same building, they're on the same floor. So like he got kind of good PR move, but I would say it's mostly for his solo debut. Because everyone was like, oh my god, it's the big muscle guy, blah, 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 blah. But after that, it kind of died down. And I would say it's really hard. Now he's in the military. So. But it's hard for him to go back for Open Mind. Because it was his solo debut. But to have the same fame as Open Mind, it's hard for him to go back.
For sure. I mean, it's not ever going to be the same. But I think it's interesting that companies do that. Like, I remember even Bohm, I think she was supposed to go to the Black label. And it's like a way to sweep your artist under the rugs without actually letting them go. Like Taeyang is suddenly under the Black label now. Like I just don't know what that means. Like it doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
And what pains me is like they have to pretend that they don't know each other anymore.
Yeah.
Because he's there, he's on the scene, he's there. They don't have their comebacks at the same time. They don't really, like, we don't see them together. Like, we just saw Wonho with the other guys because of a marriage, a wedding.
A wedding,
marriage.
yeah. Marriage, yeah.
Mariage. A wedding in... Maybe it's a dancer, maybe it's one of the producer. I don't know, but
Yeah,
it's a
someone
friend,
got married,
someone.
yeah.
And they are all together there. I think it's only Miyeon who's not there. I'm not sure. No, he's there. So all 7 are there, but they are also separate on the photo.
Was that the starship thing? I saw it going around. Like were they part of Starship?
Yeah.
Monsta X?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there was like this photo going around how separate the artists were in the wedding photo.
Yeah, it's that
okay.
one. Mm-hmm. So someone like did a Photoshop and put them all together. But I hate it. And when he was like when he was out of the group, like when he was, because there was une zone morte entre quand il est sorti du groupe, quand il a fait son début en tant que solo.
Okay.
So there was that zone, and there was a photo that was like, oh my god, he's eating with the guys. And it was such a big backlash in South Korea that
Okay.
since then they pretend that they don't know each other. But it's so hard. They know each other for like 10 years. I don't know. I hate it.
No, it's definitely difficult.
It's difficult.
To just,
like
don't mention this, you know?
Yeah, so if you take like Soojin, she left, but she's not on the scene anymore. So they can maybe they see each other outside or at their house or stuff.
Or maybe it's like from the beginning with that documentary, they just lose touch.
Maybe
because they're so busy, and they probably, it's probably not the best thing to be seen with her.
Yeah, but I don't think they would lose touch with Soojin because they already worked together. But,
Yeah, but now
maybe
that
for Garam and the set of him, maybe they lose touch because she debuted for 2 weeks and then she was out.
Yeah. But, you know, in one of the episodes, I said, like, you know, for Garam, you know, she debuted, her dreams are in front of her, and then it gets taken from under her. What do the members say to her? In the documentary, he said that the members, like, came up to him and asked him if he was okay.
Really?
Yeah, so we have like a little idea of like the conversations that could be had. Just simply, are you okay? What else do you say in that situation?
They were trainees, so like,
Yeah.
of course they will ask if they're okay. It would be really, I'm sure it was so awkward for her to pack her things and leave because
Yeah,
they were in a dorm for sure.
absolutely. It's so awkward, and there's really nothing you could say to console her. Of course, I would be bawling my eyes out,
too.
like crying, throwing up
Me
on the
too.
floor. Like, this isn't fair. Getting kicked out of a group, whether you were in the group for 2 weeks or 3 years, it's gotta sting.
And it's like, oh, I don't know what was their song. Was there a comeback happening, or was there something, a video clip filmed, or
So when Soojin was kicked out of the group, they were doing universe music. So there was a music video that they had to then cut her out of.
okay,
But I don't think they were super successful in that, because it would have been really expensive to do that.
okay,
But it was universe music. As far as I know, there wasn't like an official comeback that she had to be cut out of. It was just universe music, but it was still like a big deal to cut her out of that.
because like for Wonho, there was a comeback. It was the day of the comeback
Yeah.
that the controversy happened, and then 2 or 3 days after. Well, for us it was 2 or 3 days, or for them it was like 24 hours later
Okay.
when he got removed of the group.
Yeah.
So we do have the video clip. We do have the album.
So the music video was released.
Yeah.
And then the stuff came out.
Yeah.
And then they re-recorded, or
No, they
there was
don't-
no re-recording?
There was the music video was released
Mm-hmm.
because they all pre-record the variety shows before the comeback.
Mm-hmm.
So they already pre-record the Weekly Idol and stuff. Weekly Idol showed up on here, like maybe the day after.
Mm-hmm.
Then there was the controversy.
Okay.
They did the Halloween special, well, the comeback show. They did one, and then when it was out. So there is one performance that is existent with Wonho on stage, but it was never aired, so it's like not officially on the, I don't know if it was Mnet or something, or the show, but it's not officially on their webpage
Okay.
of on YouTube, but
Mhm.
you can find it somewhere. And they look devastated.
Yeah, that's
They
gotta be
know that
hard.
it's the last one.
Even if you're not super close with the member that was kicked out of a group, like it's still a tumultuous emotionally
Mhm.
because not only is there like a population or like it's just someone's getting kicked out of the group, it's bad PR for the group, things aren't looking so good right
They
now.
are
You
in a
wor-
comeback. They need
you
to
worry
perform.
about the future of the
Yeah.
group and all that jazz. But have you heard any like AI covers of Monsta X songs as OT7?
Not with Monsta X, no.
Because I've seen these AI covers of La Seraphim songs with Garam in them. And it's just so interesting to like, if you ever wondered what it sounds like with all of them together as OT6
For Garam 6.
with Garam. If you ever wondered what it's like for them to be OT6, there's
Yeah.
literally AI covers now.
Yeah. I wonder if it exists. But when Follow, it's the comeback when he left.
Mhm.
When it got released, they already recorded the first American album for All About
Ooh.
Love. And yeah, he's in Someone and he's in
I don't know. So he's in 2 songs.
yeah, the debut song. I don't remember.
Not the debut song.
What
Well, it's okay. He's in
with
2 songs.
French Montana, who freaking destroyed that song, but he destroyed his career with that song. Like it's done for him.
Oh.
Yeah. Another story for another time. But yeah, like they recorded that, and there was Who Do You Love? And there was like video clips out for that. And
Okay.
people were wondering if Wonho will still be in the album.
Mm-hmm.
They photoshopped Wonho out the album. There was 7 discs for member specific, and the 7th member specific is just All About Love. He's not in. There's nothing, but his voice is still in the album,
Okay.
like all the songs. But the fact that they photoshopped him out, I don't know. I hate it.
You
Was
gotta
he
do
still
what you
paid
gotta
for
do.
that? Was he still paid?
I
don't
wonder
know.
because I wonder if something like that happens. I wonder if it's considered a breach of contract.
I don't know, because like
'Cause
he
you-
was a producer for a lot of songs in Monsta X, and he helped for the American album too.
Well, I'm sure you still get your royalties and everything.
I
But
hope so.
yeah.
At least. At least.
There's also Jinni from Nmixx.
True.
She was at a Levi's event recently. What is she doing at a Levi's event?
Is she signed with the Black Label?
No, she didn't sign with the Black Label, but she signed with like a different company. Was it Sublime? I don't know. She signed with a different company, but like, how do you leave a group and then you're at an event?
Because she signed with another company.
I
So-
know, but like,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
What happened? I need to know. I need to be a fly on JYP's walls.
Not that.
I need to know what happened. Like,
Nothing happened. Nothing.
how do you just leave a group to then still like you can leave it's like understandable. This didn't end up being what I thought it would be, and I want to leave. This isn't the life that I want to live, but it is the life you want to live because you signed with a different company.
Yeah.
So what
Was it written on that note that it wasn't what she wanted, or
No.
was...
They didn't say anything.
Okay.
They didn't say anything. Just that she's not part of the group anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I need to know.
Well, you can be a fly.
I'll be
On
a
that
fly.
wall.
But like, it's curious that you train for how many years to join a group. But that's what I think the trainee system is for, to weed out the people who wouldn't fit this lifestyle. Because we see all the time people criticizing idols for not being talented enough. These idols can't sing. These idols can't dance very well. These idols have no stage presence. So how did you train for so long just to end up not being talented? However, I don't think that's what the trainee system is inherently for. I think anybody can improve. Anybody can become better at what they're doing. But I think the trainee system is so rigorous to weed out people who can't put up with rigorous schedules, who can't put up with this lifestyle. And that's what I think, at least. Do you get what I mean?
But because I was thinking, like, if she signed with Sublime, it would be a high sub.
I actually don't know. I'm sorry. I'm trying to lure my dog here because he's... For our viewers, I have Mr. Kevin with me right now.
JY Bark.
JY Bark.
Don't touch the wire, Kevin.
Don't touch it, Kevin. It's just the fact that there are filler members in a lot of groups, and people wonder, like, how are these idols so untalented and still part of a group? Probably because they have the drive and the ability to not sleep, not eat, and still, like, want to be, like, still have interest in this. Because you can be talented as hell, but if you're just gonna, like, leave the group or give up on the group like a year into it, then you're not worth the company's time. I mean, we still see it happening allegedly, but who knows?
I don't know.
Who knows?
Sad times.
So is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I don't think so.
21.
What?
I feel like 21, a lot of people wonder if they would have been so big had Bom not had her scandal. You know, they were kind of killing it. Look, oh my god, he's so cute.
Just the head sticking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure they would be big.
I wonder though, like, is that just like the natural trajectory of how things would have gone? I don't know. Anyways.
But Bom, when she was kicked out,
She wasn't kicked out.
She wasn't?
No. Minzy ended up fucking leaving.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What the?
I
So
don't know.
Bom had her scandal,
Yeah.
and then they kind of went on like this hiatus for a really long time, and then Minzy ended up leaving. That's why 21's last song, it's just the three of them without Minzy. It's fuck.
So it's Minzy who left. So
Yeah.
people who's like saying that it's Bom's fault.
Well, they're saying
not,
it's Bom's fault because she had a huge scandal.
But it's not Bom's fault.
Well,
she just left.
Well, Minzy might not have left had there not been that big scandal. I don't know if I'm remembering correctly, but
Yeah, but what if Bom didn't had her scandal and they went on a hiatus?
they probably wouldn't have gone on a hiatus
Of
because they were at
course,
the
it's
peak.
YG.
They were at the peak of their career.
Okay, how many years in?
I think it was like 7 years. No, 2014 I think was their last comeback, and they debuted in 2009.
Okay.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 5 years.
5 years?
5 years.
5?
Yeah.
Yeah, they would be on a hiatus.
I don't know.
It's the YG's pattern.
You don't even know it's anyone.
No, but if you take Blackpink for example, they didn't really had hiatus until like As If It's Your Last, maybe. And it was their 4th or 5th year.
No. As If It's Your Last was their 2nd year.
2nd?
2017.
Okay. And what was after As If It's Your Last?
Do-do-do-do.
Okay. They didn't really had a hiatus for that.
Yeah, 2019.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I don't know. It's the YG pattern. They would be on a hiatus anyways. Okay, but yeah, okay. So Bom didn't had. What if Bom didn't have her scandal?
Yeah.
They still went on hiatus because it's the YG pattern and style. Minzy would have left anyways.
You think so?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I think it's just the hiatus who made her left.
Well, they went on hiatus because of the scandal.
Yeah, but if you think about like the hiatus because of YG.
But I don't know. Like I said, Bohm was supposed to go to the Black label apparently. Like I don't think they were gonna continue 21. Like I think they wanted to disband 21, and I think that's probably why she left.
Maybe.
But we don't know. Blame it on your love. Blip blip. Blame it on your love. That was the original version of As If It's Your Last.
Yeah.
And I think Shutdown was supposed to be for 21. Because they literally say shut it down and Can't Nobody. 21 in your area.
Kepler in your area.
Want, 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 want.
I don't think Shutdown would be for 21.
Let me play you a little snippet of something, okay?
Okay. Because, like, they always keep referring stuff in the songs.
I don't remember where it is. Never mind.
What was it?
The lyrics say shut it down.
Yeah.
Shut it down. 21 in your area.
No. No, I don't think
You
so.
never know.
I don't think
No,
so.
it's just like an example. Whenever I hear someone say like, "Oh, that's not my cup of tea," I'm like, "Oh my god, do they watch my video?" I'm like, "Did I invent that?" Like, but it's
We can say yes.
no, but like it's obviously like a popular
Yeah, it's
thing.
a popular
but like
saying.
in my head, I'm like, oh, I've literally never heard anyone else ever say that in my life. So, anyways, that is basically it for this episode. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video.
With friends you don't have.
Bye.
Bye.
Say bye, Mr. Kevin. Oh, he's so cute. Mr. What was the other one? She's a go right now.
Tell me what you want. Tell me what you need.
A to Z to 95.
Da 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 da.
Talk that talk, tan hamadi. Talk that talk.
L-O-V-E. L-O-V. How do they L-O-V?
L-O-V-E. I don't know.
No, they say like L-O-V-E.
I don't know. I don't know.